Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Today we're going to showcase the echoing Warpath Void Knight in Lost Epoch. And this build is using Warpath as a main ability, similar to Cyclone from Path of Exile or Whirlwind from Diablo. We're also combining this with the passive bonuses that we get from being a Void Knight as our mastered class. And this makes it so we can have a chance of creating echoes of ourselves for a short amount of time that will use the ability that we are using, so in this case Warpath. This is great for example bossing, because it makes it so you can have multiple echoes on the boss at the same time, doing like a shotgun effect, you could say. And this build is very great to use if you are new to the game or if you are thinking of trying out the solo self-help mode. And another reason being that you don't need any uniques for this build to blast through the game. It do have some that goes really well with this build though, but more about that later in the video. Before we go over more of the build, just a quick reminder to like the video and also subscribe to the channel to show your support. And with that said, let's continue with the build. So the main ability we are using is called Warpath, and for this build we want to focus on getting this skill basically free of the mana cost, so it doesn't cost any mana, and so that's what we are starting to focusing on for this skill. So first we want to take 2 points on Unchained, and we also want 1 in Reckless Spin. And if you are going with Warpath by leveling, you could put a couple more here just to ease your way with it. Other than that, you want to go left here, take Iron Reach, going here with Whirling Steel, Battle Master's Blade, and lastly we have Dark Nexus. And same here, this works pretty much the same as these ones, but here you will get mana per 3 seconds instead when we are spinning. And 2 points was enough for me. Could go less, could go more, depending on how you would like to go. We also have 1 point in Cyclone of War for additional base crit chance. Other than that, we go here, Void Spiral, we take Echoing Knight, we take Apple's Whirl, 3 points in Maw of Deep, and lastly Abyssal Tempest. And next up, we got Sigils of Hope, and these are used to buff us with both offensive and defensive bonuses. And this pretty much is only used before bossing. When we do map with this, we do get this just by killing enemies, so you don't really have to use this while we are running around in the Monoliths. So here we want to start by going left with Empowering Sigil and Last Wish for our next, and this is making it so we are summoning Sigils on kill. Great when we are running around. We have 3 points here for more fire damage, and we have Sigil of Despair transferring fire damage to void damage. After that, go down here for Ingrovote and also Quiet Mind, and 1 for Polygram for 1 additional signal. And lastly, we want to take 2 points here for some more armor, and you choose to go 3 points here for a laster duration. Next we got Smite, which is another skill that we are using, and this is also used for us to buff ourselves a little bit more. Mainly we want to use this when we are facing bosses or elite enemies. And here you want to start going left, 1 for Holy Wave, and 5 points for Righteous Fury for some extra melee fire damage, but mostly we are using it for Righteous Flurry for more attack speed. Other than that, I put 3 points here for Soothing Balm for some regen there, and we got Blinding Flash here for some blind chance, and just my last point on Piety. Next up we got Anomaly. And this is another skill that we want to use just to boost our damage even further. First we want to go left here for Emission, making it a bigger area, and also Borrow Time, so we got the skill Instant Cast instead. Really nice to start with. And next we want to go to the right for Void Touch, making it Time Rot Chance. we want immediacy, so the anomaly effect trigger instantly. We want to go then right for time bubble, and then we have different ones here just to buff us. You can go pretty much whatever you want. We have 5 points here in decimation for crit chance. We've got temporary mastery for increased duration, Time Lord, another one here, and lastly manipulation for more attack speed and cast speed. And the last skill that we are using is called Lunge, and this skill we are using is for our mobility skill, and we gain some extra benefits by using this as well. First we want to go up here for Warrior's Renewal, and this is lowering the cooldown when we hit an enemy. We want to go to the left here with Endless Will for additional cooldown recovery there. Then we want to go right, Ember Crusade, for more melee damage to higher health enemies. 1 point here, Double Strike, and lastly we want one for Lead the Charge. Next, go downwards here for Immediate Onslaught. 1 point here in Call of the Weak. We want 2 points here in Reckless Skirmish. And 1 point in Voidbringer, making all the damage void. And lastly, 4 points here in Holy Incursion, making it so when we charge an enemy, we also smite the enemy. And this is also providing us all the buffs that we have from these skills here as well, mainly as I mentioned for the attack and cast speed. So that was all the skills that we are using for this build, and let's continue with going over the stats and the items that we are using. And I mentioned at the start that you don't need any uniques to get this build started and going, which is really great. However, there are some that can be very good to have. And first off, going to be the Siphon of Anguish ring. And this is very awesome for this build, providing a lot of life leech, moving speed, and also chance to apply Doom and increase Doom effect. Doom makes it so we make a dot on the target, dealing void damage over time, and also making it so we are dealing more melee damage to that target as well. And I'm using 2 of them right now, but I would recommend you to use at least 1. And the reason I'm using 2 is because it was actually better for me than having the other rare ring that I previously had. So that's why I'm using 2 at the moment. And this ring can be found very easily by just killing the Shade of Urbos within the Echo of a World at Monoliths of Faith. And this is going to be a 50% chance of getting the ring each time you kill it at the start, so you would be able to get it in no time. Another one that we can use is this one, Titan's Heart. And this is for less damage taken to us, because we are using a 2-hander, so great defensive is there. But also we get even more damage, and we also get a huge buff to our health. We do trade off our region though, but we do get a big amount from our rings, or if you have one, it's more than enough. And yeah, so it do add up by the leeching the rings are providing us, right? Some other ones I would like to mention is Aphany Maw, and this is a unique 2-handed unique with a lot of damage on it, and this, same as the rings, is also dropped from the Shade of Urbos, but you will need to have at least 50 corruption before it can drop from the boss. And also another one from the same boss is the Shattered Chain Belt, and this also works very well with the build, providing a lot of great stats for us. But for this to be able to drop, you will need at least 120 corruption. And just quickly, how to get corruption here. You'll find these nodes right with the Shade of Urbos in it, and once you defeat it, you will then gain corruption, and depending on how far away he is from the starting point there in your monolith, the more corruption you will get. Alright, but let's move on with the gear, starting with our weapon here. And this base is very good if you could get it, just because of the void penetration that it provides. But other than that, try to get as much added void damage as you can, and also we want to try to get the base crit there. And important here, you get the added crit and not the increased crit. Got some shredded armor here as well, and also some all stat to finish this off. For the helm here, you want to look for increased echo damage when a skill echoes. For body armor, you can go for something like this, and the important one here is plus skills to Warpath for some extra skill points. Other than that, you just want as much life and also resist as you can get. Try to get some void damage there as well if you are able to fit it in. And also for the gloves here, you can also go for some more increased melee attack speed that will help you out if you can get it. And for the idols, you want to focus on this one, the ornate ones. So you want 2 of these with increased echo damage when a skilled echoes. This will boost the damage with a lot, and we get 2 of these. Other than that, you can get something like this for just some more increased melee void damage, or even this one here for increased Warpath area. The last one here, only have it for some more chance to shred armor on melee hit. And moving on to the passive, starting with the Sentinel base class. Here you want to put 8 points in Juggernaut for strength and resistance. You want 7 points here in Fearless for vitality and increased regen. And lastly 5 points here in Armor Glad for more armor, and also so we take less damage from nearby enemies. And going over to Void Knight, and this is also going to be our mastered class. Here we want to have 6 points in Temporal Corruption, 5 points in World Eater for some more leech. We want to jump over here, 8 points for Void Blades for even more void damage. You have 1 point here in Void Corruption, and this is making it so you deal even more damage with crits for each point you have in the Void Knight tree. It's really good for us here. Moving on to Root Ripples, and this is so we get more time rot duration and also a chance for it to spread. 6 points here in Woe for damage. We got 4 points here for even more void damage. We got 5 points here in Echoing Strikes, and it's from here you will see this build pop off really fast. And this is making it so we got more chance of our skill to echo. Moving on here, Time Legion for melee attack speed, Time Rot, and also more echo chance. 1 point here in Avatar of Regret for even more chance for a echo to spawn. We are putting our reminder points here in Dread, and I'm also having 15 points in Paladin, and this is mainly because we do need, or we did lack, elemental resistance, so we are still going to use this really good one here, and also get some more health here and also health effectiveness, really good for defensives. But other than that, you want to try and maximize this one. So for instance, put your remainder points here in Dread. You have over here 5 points additional you can put in, and even here 6 additional points in Woe, and also even going to this one here for even more melee time rot chance, just boosting damage overall. Alright everyone, so this was a showcase of the Echoing Warpath Void Knight. Comment down below if you found this video helpful, and also don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!